This is Too Long for a Voice Note, a podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. Presented by Claire
and Enzo. Our podcast is produced in London. Some conversations are just too long for a voice note.
Hey, he's Enzo.
And she's Claire.
And this is Too Long for a Voice Note.
Hi guys.
Hello, welcome back.
Everyone this
How
week.
Are we doing? Thank you guys so much for joining us again for another episode.
Yeah, so excited. Second episode of 2022.
How
we are
exciting.
going in. Episode, and more
Get
episodes
it
for
done.
you.
So yeah, guys, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. It's free and it really helps us out.
You.
Give us a like. Find us on Instagram.
Please
TikTok.
rate us everywhere.
Yeah,
we
Spotify.
are every single platform
literally
out
everywhere.
there. But we try to bring some different content as well, so it's cool. Whatever you feel more comfortable to follow us, it will be good because you can find different type of content that you will interact and all of that. But yeah, thank you guys for all the support, and we're so excited to the second week with our new mic, which is like we're so excited.
I can't take my eyes off of it. It's stunning.
Right? It's
Look at
really
that
beautiful.
Oh, absolutely
can
beautiful.
you do you get it, guys? This is so beautiful. And also, like, it was so easy to work with. I think if you are a podcaster as well, you're there and you're thinking about a mic, this is a really good option. Like, easy to install, you don't need to do anything. It's really like pain free.
Amazing.
So I know we're gonna talk about a lot of mic for a few more weeks, so guys, like, get ready. We're gonna not over this. What's been your week, Claire? Are you watching something? What's in your mind, in your world?
What's kind of popping around
lately?
Well, I've been watching, actually, I don't think I've spoken to you too much about this. It's this French series called it's basically called like The Hookup Plan in English, but it's called like Amour Occasionnel or something like that.
I started to watch the series as well.
Did you? Do you like it?
It's fucking cringy.
It's really cringy, but I love it.
I'm hooked as well, but I think it's
What
horrible
series
series.
No.
I think I'm in the last season. I finished it.
Don't say a word.
I'm in the third season or something. No, I'm on the third one. I think I need one more to
because the
finish.
third series just came out. Because I looked on like Vulture or something of like
So the third one
it just came out, the third season.
So I watch first and second.
Right, okay. So you need to watch the third because it just came out. Because basically the premise of the show, I'm sure it's going to change a lot, but it's like friends, and this girl's like really heartbroken, and her friends to like cheer her up to get over this guy, like get her a prostitute, a male escort. But of course they like fall in love.
Of course.
But I think it's really great.
I think it's a horrible series, but I watch it. I haven't stopped. I don't know. I think it's something about it's a series to be entertained and it's fun. I don't know. It's a bit cringy sometimes. I don't know, but I'm still watching it.
And I find it quite feel good and very light.
Yeah.
And something else that I'm watching.
Which one's your favorite character?
The curly-haired one, of course. The really curly-haired, wild one.
The wild one. She's super cool. She's a bit noisy, but
her fake crying is horrible though.
I mean,
the acting is.
It's just like a feel-good show,
Yeah,
it's
very,
fun
like,
watching it
creepy,
as well.
But I'm also watching Euphoria.
The moods is like from that to Euphoria.
Or Euphoria is the type of show you need to watch something happy to after. You know, you need to like watch an episode of Friends or something.
Are you really liking it, Euphoria?
I really like it. I mean. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I think it's like, it's very artistic and beautifully filmed, and if you don't know, it's about, Zendaya plays a drug addict. Well, there you go.
Can't wait to watch Euphoria.
Yeah,
I think because, everyone is like, Euphoria. Anyway, I will watch it at one point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, whose week is it this week?
It's my week.
So it's time for...
Enzo's secret topic of the week. This topic this week, I think it has a different tone from last week's topic. It's a different topic. It's a bit more dense, let's say. And I want to talk about something. I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I think it's been surrounding me a lot, especially again because I think it's the age, but also things. But I want to talk about like identity and parenthood.
Oh, wow.
Being a parent and identity of yourself when you're a parent.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
This happens because and I want to talk to you about this as well because I want to know if it's also something social or like cultural as well. And I was speaking with my friend Hennessy's a lot about some friends that we have in common. Like they may have kids now and they are moms now. This is especially, and I want to say this is, I don't want to come like, oh yeah, you're a man, that's why you're talking about this, or you have some privilege or something because I'm not a mom, won't be a mom, of course. But I feel this is more visible for women than for men. This is more noticeable, I guess. And I feel like sometimes when people have family or women that have a baby, there's something that shifts in their identity, and they become the mother. And they are the mother of, the mom of. And we're talking about this because we see like some people that are used to be friends of us, like at the university, people that aren't in contact with them anymore, that they change. At least this is coming from a social media perspective, of course. Like, for example, they change their Instagram and there's like, I'm the mom of.
Like in the bio, mummy too.
Mother of whatever.
Yeah.
Mother of that. And then the post and everything are about of them being the mother of. And it seems like, for me, like it's like identity washed. Like, you're not, obviously this is not everyone, but I've seen this a lot. Like, you are not anymore Claire. You are the mom of Pepe. You know, whatever is the name. You know? So it's kind of like, I find really strange when this goes to like an extreme, and it feels like this person has no identity anymore as individual, and everything goes around the baby.
Yeah.
So I want to know your experience, and I've seen this from my experience, and I was talking about the cultural part, because I've seen this like, because in Latin America, the cliche, which is really true, mothers are very like, oh, you know, it's more dramatic, more emotional, more like, oh. And I've seen this more with people that are from Latin America, that from people that are from different countries, from different continents, that are more like, oh my God, the mom of this, I love my baby, blah, 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 and all very like sugar coaty, very like, so I want to know, what's your point of view on this? And I want to see if you, because I want to get to the bottom of this. Well, this sounds so dramatic, but I want to kind of like have an idea if this is more cultural thing as well, or you have seen this something similar, or where they come from, or where you stand on this.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is an interview.
I know.
Claire.
Where do you stand?
Yeah.
No, I think it's a really interesting topic, and yeah, something that I definitely have thought a little bit about as well. I think I think it would vary in different cultures, but I think that there probably is like that theme across like everyone. Like in the UK, I'm sure it's the same as like Latin America, but I think that like, I guess I can relate to it like a little bit with like, because we have like Italian heritage, so I guess it's probably Mediterranean. It might be kind of similar to how it is with Latin, like a bit like
definitely.
typically like overbearing kind of thing, that kind of thing, like a bit whatever. But and I think because I'm only 31, like only one of my female friends has had a baby. She's a bit older, and I definitely think I have seen that like a identity shift. And I wonder if it like, because the thing is like, how can it not shift, especially for the women, I think. And I think it will be, I don't know, you can say if you think I'm wrong, but I think this is kind of what you were alluding to, like it is different between like mums and dads, because like for the mum, number one, like the baby is like, you carried it and then it comes out
if that's the case, for example,
and then that baby ain't surviving if you're not giving to it, whereas that's not the same for the dad, because definitely, like the like sustenance is coming from you, so it's different. And then it's like, wow, like that previous me kind of like, almost I can imagine it would feel like it doesn't really exist, because it's like my routine is completely different now. Everything is about them. I wonder if like, we're not parents, so we don't know yet, but like I wonder if it kind of like calms down when the baby gets a bit older. Like I think when I've noticed like with my friend, like when the baby's got to like 2, maybe it's more back to kind of who you were before, because you probably, it's just like practicalities in a way, I think. I also think that more like in a kind of society based way, I think it goes into like, we love to categorize women, and then a woman is different when she's a mother, even if she's like, and I wonder, I know this is a bit dark to say,
no, go for it,
but do you think she's more less not like attainable, but she's less desirable to a man because now she's a mother? And I wonder if this is, you know, like,
it could be,
you're in that category of woman now, because I'm not going to get you, because then I'm going to have to deal with a kid. Not that's of course not all men, but do you know what I mean?
I definitely think about it, and it's I agree with you. Of course, your identity is gonna get affected by the fact of having a new life, and your life becomes the life of the baby. But I feel sometimes like, I don't know, I feel like some women and some father, maybe some parents, dads as well, some women and men both, they really change who they are a lot when they have after they have a kid. Like, their life becomes being parents, and they kind of feel they forget who they were before that.
Yeah.
And for example, I feel like I don't know, I mean, it could be very much your choice, for example. But for example, I see like my mom, she really loves to be a mom, you know, and that's her, like, she's very nurturing and very like passionate about being, she's very motherly kind of thing, right? But the fact that she has to check, you know, she had some things that she wanted to pursue maybe, or like some like, oh, she was interested on this topic, or maybe she wanted to go to the uni, but maybe she didn't because she have us and she has to focus on us. And I feel like you need to cut parts of yourself to become that advocate for your kids. So you need to change a lot of your desires of things, of what to have it to. And I think that changed a lot nowadays, because now obviously also feel most of cases like relationships are more like equal, so the man or whatever is man, woman, whatever is the case. I think it's not one person taking all the responsibility, but I feel that in a lot of cases people need to neglect or forget or to leave on one side something they are to like having a kid and having a family.
I think like I don't actually agree. Like I don't think you have to. I think you can. And I think a lot of that might be to do with like practicality as well, because like you have less time to, especially at the beginning where I'd imagine you're kind of in like fight or flight mode kind of thing, like very reactive, like there's probably just less time to do those kind of things. But I really think that you can do all of the things that you want to do and still be like a kind of like a woman within your own right. But maybe that wasn't my experience of my upbringing, because my mum was always working and always had her own life. I really so respect that. It's like an amazing mum, but also like she was going to go after her goals, and like that was that. So I've never really seen it.
It's like a choice.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah. But again, that might be privilege as well, because she had the money to like have childcare for me. Do all of those extra kind of things. So I think that.
Do you think like going back to the social media thing, which was where all of this conversation came inside my mind, like what is this? Do you think like, where do you think comes from this thing of like, I need to, which this is tied with something else which I've seen before. Maybe this is, I don't want to be mean, but maybe the same, I want to say type of people, but maybe some people with some type of mentality or way to see things that are obviously different to mine. They are like, you know, when you put on your bio, like, oh, I'm the wife of,
I find that so cringe.
Yeah, I'm the husband of.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm a mother of this person. I'm the wife of this one. I'm the father of this one. And it's kind of like, yes, but you are like, it feels like who you really are. Like, it's like on the second level, it's like if like, you know, one day, and I wonder, and I won't judge you if this happened, I'm just saying like nowadays if you go to, and I know it may seem silly because it's Instagram or whatever, but this Instagram all this, I think have to go do a lot with our identity and how we present ourselves. Right. And I feel like, I wonder if one day, right now it's like, let's be clear, video editor, podcast, whatever. And one day it's going to be, let's be clear, it's going to be mom of Pepe, looking for a better word, whatever it would be. So I wonder if that will happen and what that shift means to your identity, or like if it's really that important, like maybe we need to say that, like, you know what I mean?
I definitely wouldn't put that in my Instagram bio. I think it's a little, I do wonder what the psychology behind doing that is. And because I find it weird when people say like married to blah, blah, blah.
Because I think it comes from the same category.
It's a bit like ownership thing. It's kind of like, well, okay, clearly if you're on Instagram, you're going to figure out who someone's boyfriend or husband is or whatever. But why do you need to put it in the bio? It's a little bit odd.
I think come from something to like, because you are important to me, and of course being a mom obviously or father is really important, so you need to like make sure that it comes across that that's your main thing.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. And maybe it's also kind of like you want people to go to your Instagram because you're going to give like mum tips or something, like mum and baby tips that you would
that's
say
a
like,
different
well, I'm a
story,
mum of 3, so then obviously you're going to listen to me, that kind of thing. But yeah, I do wonder if you need to like sacrifice. Oh God, you do need to sacrifice a lot of yourself to be a parent. I think actually, but also sorry to interrupt you. Like it's like you are. Say I have a baby.
Yeah.
Like this Claire doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and the relationship, say you're having a baby in a relationship, like the relationship that you're in, that's gone. That's yesterday. Now today is like, because, you know, when you have a baby, like that's it until one of you dies, right? So that's like, you're a thing until either the baby dies or you die. Yeah. So that's like a lot.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get, like, what you said, like, the person you are, it's gone. I mean, you always change yourself, and you can always say, like, oh, all the time, the person who I was doesn't exist anymore, and I will reborn every single time, whatever. Yeah. But I think you're right, like, that's the thing, like, I feel like the once you become a parent, it's some, like, a version of yourself. It's gone, and this new version will exist forever, you know, like, you will ever be the father of, or the mother of, even if the kid or whatever dies, you will still be the mother of or the father of.
But it doesn't mean, does that mean that that's okay? And like you say, our identities are always shifting. Enzo, 32-year-old Enzo, is not the same Enzo that was in Venezuela, for example. But you're still Enzo, but you're a different Enzo. Like you shed versions of yourself every day. Yeah. But does it mean that you can't kind of like have it all? Like you can't be a mum or a dad and still have like a very strong sense of yourself and your identity, and your like Instagram is your Instagram, but you also have like a baby. Now, I think you can do both.
You can like mix both of things.
But it's hard work.
Yeah, I just feel like very interesting, like what's behind all of this identity. I don't know. I think sometimes, and that makes me think, and that's why I'm also bringing this topic up, because, you know, I'm not anti-baby, but I'm not sure if I want to have it like clarity. Like, if you say so, like, okay, it doesn't come up like no. But for example, I'm not sure if I want to have a baby because it's never been on my priorities. Yeah, you know, like on my goals, it's not. Which I understand what for some people they have as a goal to have a baby. That's why when they have it, it's like, oh my God, I'm the mom of this, because it's been like a goal for me and it's your dream. And I will understand it, like, all right, well, my only dream or my biggest dream is to have a baby because I want to have family. So I may understand when you have it, you're like, oh my God, yes, I'm the mom of Pepe. So, okay, I get it because it's your goal. Because I want to be a photographer. I'm a photographer. But if one day I want to have a magazine and I have it, I will put like owner of this magazine. You know what I mean? So it may come from that because it's like my biggest goal, my biggest wish I achieved. So I want to like put something that represents that it's a reality somewhere, Instagram, whatever it is. But it makes me think a lot because I'm not sure if I want to have like a baby one day. Something like for me, it's not something I want to think even now because I don't think, and I have the privilege of because I'm a man. So for me, it's easier to be like, I will think that about later. You know, obviously I know that. But it made me think because I think, and it's maybe like very psychological, but I'm really always being afraid. Not afraid, it's not a word. It's a thing like I value a lot of my identity and who I am. And I'm always thinking like it would be very scary to feel like I'm losing myself. Yeah. And the moments that I felt that was happening, it was like panic attack and alert. And I was wondering if like this idea of maybe not having a kid or maybe not sure, or maybe no one have it is because I feel it would threaten my identity.
Interesting.
And if that's where it comes from.
But I also think that maybe, of course, there's like a actual like hormonal element to this, but I wonder whether this is a bit where like postnatal depression is coming from as well, because imagine like you're not only tired, your vagina's been ripped, you like all of this, you're sleep deprived, but also you do not exist anymore, and then you have this new reality and this little creature depending on you. And I think there is something, what you're saying is like we're so tied to our identity, like you're Enzo, you're a photographer, you're Venezuelan, you live in London, all your friends and everything, and it is kind of sad and scary when your identity like shifts.
Or it's kind of like under such a big change,
Yeah.
right?
And it's probably like, I think with having a baby as well, it's like one day to the next. Of course, you have 9 months to prepare and get your head around it, but probably nothing can prepare you for that moment.
Definitely, yeah.
But I do wonder if, what you're saying is maybe, but I also think you're super independent, and I think that's a lot where your fear of having a baby comes from, because you love your own space. You love to do things on your own time and all of that.
I just feel, and that's why I would like people to listen to this and have a baby or something. I just feel like it's so weird as humans how we have these things with like relationships of kids or whatever it is, that I feel like we change ourselves so much, or we like it's kind of like your identity is part of something else, and I think that's a weird concept overall.
Because like, why have an identity attached to like your partner, for example? It's the same sort of thing, or your job. Why have... But our identities are tied to it.
So let's move with this for a job, for example. Like people, all of us, but I think some people that are more... Their identity are more based on their job. They're more like attached to it.
Agreed.
So why do you think, like, if we move it to that topic?
It's where you get your self-esteem from, I would say. It's where you get your sense of self. It's like you... Like for me with my job, I'm a video editor, and I'm proud of that. So I get a lot of like self-esteem from that. And I think it also expresses my personality. Like you might think, oh, she's creative, like she likes film, she blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I wonder, is that the same for parents then? Yeah. Because I'm proud of that. Like, you think like I'm proud of being a mother. So why wouldn't I put that on my Instagram bio?
Yeah. And I'm proud of being this good mother that is providing everything. Yeah. This good father that I'm providing everything for my family. So why not be... Yeah. So, but also people can be all of that and not put it out there, I guess.
Totally.
Obviously, as well as everything.
You pick your identity, right? You pick and choose your identity.
I guess yes. I mean, you build your identity according to the things you like and you feel are important to you, right? Yeah. But as you say, it's very interesting how this is attached, let's say, with relationships, or like a job, or like being a parent. I guess because those things really like may shape your whole life in 100%.
Yeah.
So
it does like affect every aspect of your life, I would imagine. But is it? I don't know. Like, is it something to be? That sounds a bit savage. I was gonna say, like, is it something to be so proud of to be a parent when it's like a very natural, basic thing? And I think that's what aggravates you a little bit.
Yes, as well.
Yeah,
it's the same a bit as. I think I don't want to be mean with this, but because maybe this can come across as cold or whatever. But it's the same of like, I don't know. It happens with relationships, and it's like people being so proud of having a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It's like, yeah, it's great, but it's not a cure for cancer, you know? Yeah. Like everyone
is in a relationship or not or something. Yeah, I get you.
You know what I mean? Like you can choose. Let's say if you choose, hopefully you choose to have a baby. Hopefully it was your idea, and I decided I want to have a baby. I'm in the conditions, and I went for it. It was your choice. It's a natural thing as a relationship. As you know, I know it can be savage and it can be cold, but it's like, is it that groundbreaking to, or what is that psychologically? Why we feel it's so amazing of being a good parent?
Because it's like, that is huge for people. Like being, that is like your, I don't think it should be, but I really feel like parents are going to come at us on this episode. But
it's not about that. It's just about trying to understand, especially because we are not parents.
Exactly.
And maybe I think it's good to talk this before being a parent, because, you know, like, I wouldn't like to have this question after I have the baby. It's like, should we probably have this? You know what I mean? No, I want to have this before. But if we go to a level further of this, and we are talking about adoption, and someone adopts a baby, and if adopting a baby is not as simple as that, I want a baby, can I have one? No, it can take years. There's people that have been through adoption process for 5 years. You know, it's not like as easy as I want to help a kid or whatever. You know, it's a big process. And I feel like, you know, if you go through all of that, that's maybe something that you are like, fuck, it's been such a long process. Like, I understand if you tell me, like, I finally managed to, like, get the adoption process because it's been years and money, blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, oh, congratulations. It's like a job, you know what I mean? So maybe, and this is very cold to say, of course, it's not that one-dimensional, but we'll be like, okay, I understand very much that you're proud because you're fighting for years to get an adoption, you know? It's not like a natural process for you that it came from your body, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not trying with this to say like some situations are better than others, or like, oh yeah, you have more because you have it naturally is not that much. No, it's not about that. But it's weird. Like, we're so proud of something that's so natural. I understand that it takes a lot of work, but it's for me, it's something that aches me there. There's something that like.
What it is, what I'm thinking about it now is, I think that for a lot of people, they didn't have meaning in their life until they had a baby. Okay. The meaning in their life is, because that is,
which is good
for a lot of people, the reason that we are here is to reproduce. Yes, that is true. The meaning of life for a lot of people. Yeah. So then imagine you finally do that. You might be like, I never knew a love like this. I never had a really, God, what was I doing before I had this baby? Yeah. I think maybe, is that where it comes from?
I think that's a really good point. And it makes a lot of sense.
Because it is for people, isn't it? Yeah, it's like
for that a lot of people. And it can be both as well. It can be that, but also can be other things. But I think for some people are really like their main goal in life is to reproduce and have a family, because this is the biggest love you may feel, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense. That's why it feels like
because I think for us, again, it's privilege, but we live in London in 2022, like, it's like we can afford to like have these conversations around parenthood, and if we want to be parents, if we don't. But for a lot of people, like, that's not even an option, even in 2022, and like questioning. It's like that's just a thing. And I would actually, I think we'd be surprised. I bet a lot of people that we know, I think that it's something that they wouldn't even question as well. It's just like, you get married and you have a baby and you build a family, and that is the meaning of life. That's why we're here, and that's like the higher purpose for a lot of people. I think we just look at it from a different way, because you don't want to have a baby, and I do, but I don't feel like pressure from my family or friends to actually have it.
You're lucky that you don't have that.
I'm thinking about it. I think about whether it's ethical to have a baby.
That's another conversation as well.
But we don't.
Yeah, you are totally right with that. And of course, I'm talking with for privilege, because if when I'm 40, I feel like I want to have a baby, probably it would be, I can have a baby. I can maybe go to, it's going to be probably a long process. It's going to be like, if I want to adopt a baby, it's going to take years, But obviously I can come from that place. I think it's just because I cannot wrap my hand around that being that my identity, coming back to what you say, like for some people, and I'm not saying this is wrong, my goal in life could be like taking photos of random shit, and you will be like, well, you're taking photos, who needs that, you know what I mean? But it's not like it's wrong or it's bad. For me, it's just difficult to understand, like, main goal, or like finish thing to go in life is to having a baby. For me, it's a bit like, wow, okay. Also, it's a natural thing. I don't know. It's like weird. I just find weird when your identity is only that. As we always do, you have 60 seconds to recap anything about this topic, about parenthood, identity, how it switched, whatever you think may be your final thoughts about this topic for now.
So I think that inevitably parenthood and identity will be very intertwined, especially more for women than men. I think that I do think, kind of as I said, like, it's the level of meaning and like what a family means and what like a baby means to people, that and that's kind of why some people shed different bits of their identity in order, and then like replace it with like being a parent. I think it has a lot to do with like meaning and all of that. I think that we need to accept that even though this is hard, I think we need to accept that our identities are transient through life, and I think it's probably really bad to keep on holding on to like, I am this person, I will always be this person, because like they always say, like, the only constant is change. So you need to and that goes with our identity as well. But I think it's very possible to have all of the goals that you want to have in your life. Well,
but
have all of the goals that you want to have in your life, and but also be a parent, and like. But then again, it's that kind of view of that woman, and of course, I'm thinking about our queen, J-Lo. I'm thinking of that classic thing of like the woman, she can do it all. I can be a mother, I can have a banging body, I can have my career, I can have all of this, and it's like, but that woman is often very like stressed and like, do you know what I mean? Like kind of like fraught.
It's not like it doesn't seem to be peaceful ride.
Like effortless.
Effortless,
What
anyway,
an interesting
thank you,
topic,
Clara. I really like your
love.
thoughts
You're
about this
welcome
topic.
anytime.
I think I will keep thinking about this because I think there's something I want to get to the bottom of this. Like why I think it's not like it bothers me. It's just I think I'm very curious about this, and I feel like, and that's why I thought it was maybe like I think it bothers me because I'm thinking about my identity. It's like I want to be myself, and maybe people would think maybe you're selfish or something. But I don't consider myself a selfish person.
You're not selfish at
and
all.
I feel like at the same time, I give my all to my friends, the people I love.
You definitely do.
But maybe in that sense, I can be selfish, and I want to go like, why, where it comes from. So that's.
Also, what if you hate your kid? What are you gonna do then?
That's gonna be the next episode. That's a great one because that's possible. Okay, not everyone loves their kids. Stop saying that. Like, I'm sure. Like because some kids can be fucking annoying because
absolutely.
Let's stop it.
You choose your friends and you choose your partner, but you can't choose your kids. You're lumbered with them. So there you go. Something to think about.
There you go. Next topic, right? Guys, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Claire, for
you're welcome, love.
adding some thoughtful things to my mind.
It will go around your mind.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.